Okay. Getting set up here. Bear with me. Alrighty. Good. Alright, so I am going to finish getting set up here. I'm running late. Nobody's here yet anyway. We're going to go ahead and leave that there for the moment. And I am going to finish setting up here. Okay. Back. Okay, just about ready. So, I still have one more decision to make before we actually get going. So, what this is, we'll do the introduction here. Let's go ahead. We're going to be playing 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to be doing a solo campaign. This is the introductory episode. So, some notes about solo role-playing that I tend to live by here. Some rules or guidelines. So, when playing solo, what we're going to try to do here is we're trying to create a narrative as best we can. So we will have to fill in all of the blanks. There's going to be some dice rolling. That's just basically a means to create the story. So we're going to need to create a decent story. But when it comes to dice rolling and rules of the game, we need to stick to the rules pretty closely. Because there is no dungeon master, there are no players, it's just me running this. So I'm going to need to stick to the rules pretty closely, or as best I can. I'm sure I'll forget things here and there, but another important aspect of solo role-playing is we have to keep very good track of in-game time. We need to keep a pretty detailed log of what's going on. Now, I happen to be streaming / recording this, so that would be about as detailed a log as you can get. But we're going to pretend I'm not doing that, and I'm going to be writing everything down in my graph paper. Or I hadn't decided yet. Here's one of the decisions, is I can bring up a word processor and have it as a window on OBS here. And I can type in everything that's going on. I think that'll be too long. This is already going to be a long thing. It's going to be pretty drawn out. But it's a possibility. We're going to go with me writing in the notebook as I normally do, for starters. And then we'll maybe give it a go later on, trying out using a word processor instead. So previously, I had rolled up all of the characters, all their stats. I hadn't quite done I hadn't quite done all of the details, but I had just rolled up the stats and I rolled up the starting gold. Oh, another thing to note is I'll be playing the game, streaming it, and playing it. Basically, this is how I would play it by myself, rolling my dice, writing my stuff down. Then I'll be taking this, the product of this, and I'll be turning it into a boiled down version of a narrative, essentially, for YouTube. And we'll see how that goes. And on that note, I've actually been flying my drone around now, trying to get some shots of some nature. Getting some nature shots so I can have a running loop of something in the background while I do my narration, as well as I'll be showing clips of dice rolling and stuff like that to kind of give the impression that this is for the YouTube videos. Give the impression that the game is kind of happening as the video's going on. But anyways, so we need to be keeping good track of, we need to stick to the rules pretty heavily. We need to craft a narrative as we go, otherwise there's no point. Might as well play a board game. We need to keep good track of time and good journal keeping. And those are pretty much the three. So we need to create a good narrative, we need to keep good journals and track of time, and we need to stick to the rules. And that's basically, and we're not going to have a rule for everything that crops up. We're going to have to make some on the fly, but we're going to have to keep track of that. We'll write down a list of house rules, and those will probably pop up almost immediately. But, so, that's the introduction here. Let's get into a little bit of the world. So, here is the overall map. These are 150 mile squares. The idea here, and the thing I haven't quite fully decided upon yet, is how I want to, because I want to do a hex crawl, have rules for it written up, or almost have rules for it written up. I don't have random encounter tables yet for my hex crawl, so I kind of wanted to start in an area I already have developed that already has a decent amount of tables. So honestly, I'll probably do that. But here's one continent. This is probably where we're going to start. This is a continent. It's called Cairo. I haven't named this one yet, but this is where I intend on going. It's about a 900-mile boat trip to get off this side and over here. That's my intention, is to begin the adventure here and then make my way to this other continent. And on this other continent is when we'll use the hex crawl. We'll do the straight up hex crawl, because I've literally, I just drew this continent outline and all these islands. I did that a half an hour before we started this. So this has zero, I have zero developed for this entire continent. So that'll be good for a hex crawl. That'll develop the continent. Basically, we're gonna come in right where the tip of my pencil is, that little peninsula right there. We're gonna land there. There'll be a town or a village or something, a small town. That'll be our starting point, our haven, if you will. And then we'll just basically do a hex crawl from there. That might happen tonight. We'll see. But where we're going to actually start is up here. This island right here. And let's go ahead and break out some more. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and start there for sure. So we have urban encounter tables here. And I'm going to eventually take pictures of all this stuff to show a little bit more clearly on screen, on the screen here. Did I unmute myself? Yeah, all right, good. Thought I've been talking muted this whole time. So we got some urban encounters. So sort of the outline, let me put this down. Sort of the outline of how the game's gonna run is I'm gonna need a quest of some sort. I don't have a quest generator yet. I need to come up with that. That's on my to-do list. Create a quest generator. I also need to create a character motivation generator. That kind of gives, when in doubt, I can use that to determine the actions of a PC if I don't know what the actions are going to be. So we're going to start in a town, and we're basically just going to explore and roll random encounters. I might have, so some of these towns that I have, so this is the overall map. So we got that. That's the world. I don't need this map anymore. I do need the next map, which is so that island I had pointed out. Here's a little closer. That island I had pointed out is up here. This is 50 miles a square. So that's called the Virgin Snow Island, right there. So this, we're going to zoom in a little further here, because that's not quite big enough. And here's that island at 8 miles a square. And if you can kind of see the graph paper, the size of the square. I'll take pictures of everything eventually and put them up. All I did today was take pictures of the character sheets so you can get a clear look at them. So we will be starting the adventure or the campaign. Nothing's going to focus, so I'll have to just narrate. We're going to be starting in this town right down here. This is the town of Death's Hold. We're basically going to land here from, I can bring up another map for you. The campaign will basically start with the party landing in Death's Hold. This is the largest settlement on this entire island. This is kind of, when I wrote up this island, it kind of has the feel of 10 Towns from Faerun. It's got that kind of, this is like the end of the line sort of deal. But what we do have here is, here's another map. So this is another 8 mile. So basically, you see, this kind of goes over right about somewhere in that vicinity. So there's that. So we're coming from down here. The tip of this peninsula is the city of Northreach. This is a fairly sizable city, and it's a day travel across the ocean here just to make it to Death's Hold. So the party will have originated from Northreach and will have traveled to Death's Hold, and that's where we're going to begin. I do have information on Death's Hold written up already. I have rumors, so that's essentially your quest hooks. So back to the way the game's gonna sort of be structured is we'll be doing in-town stuff until we have a reason to go explore the wilderness, this being the wilderness out here. And then we'll basically travel to a location which is our dungeon. At least at the very beginning. We're gonna eventually have to find a dungeon to explore. I do have some ideas here on how I want to run that. I was considering Underdark being the dungeon. We'll see though. Because I have pretty sizable or extensive dungeon generators and also Underdark generator. But anyways, so we have, there's also a sewer system I have written up for Death's Hold. We can always adventure there as well. But let's go ahead and keep out what we're going to use here. So I would like to try to get to the hex crawl, but we'll adventure here on the Virgin Snow Island, basically until we have enough for passage to the other continent. Then we'll go there instead. All right, so here is all the information. Nope, that's not the right one. Is this the correct one? This is the correct one. All right, so here's Death's Hold. and just get everything I'm going to need here for... I don't need this map. I got maps galore here. Like I said, I was running a bit late here, so I'm trying to get sorted as we go. That's there. Do not need that just yet. Might need you. Might need you. All of you. Alright. Nearly sorted. We also need to come up with a start date. We're going to start beginning of end of spring. Otherwise, this place just piles up with snow and it's almost impossible to travel. So, we are landing here at the beginning of the campaign. And don't really need that map anymore. Now we need to go ahead and go to the... These are my Underdark maps here. These we're not going to need for some time. Here's our notebook we're going to be tracking everything with. Alright, so here's the actual town itself. So the population... Here's the sewers underneath the town. And here's a 1 mile per square map of the area. So Deshold being down here. And then there's a road leading to the closest hamlet, which is up in this area. We'll get to that later. We need to know, here we go, some information about Deshold. It's a population of 4,620. We are using 3rd edition, the 3rd edition settlement generator that's in the DMG here. So we have a gold piece limit, which is essentially the amount of gold you can worth of stuff you can sell basically in a given time. I have an item availability, so anything over 100 gold pieces you need to roll to see if it even is there. We have annual taxes, importation taxes, we have money changer fees and gate tolls written down. There's the standing army and what they can levy on short notice. We have the sheriff's name. We've got the kingdom/ruler. So the kingdom is called the Golden Council. That sort of encompasses all of the towns together. There is the ruler of Deshold, Lord Crowley. The power structure is oligarchy, so it's just a bunch of rich people. And there is a language. It's Shalvik is the language of the area. That's pretty much the whole northeastern coast of the continent. Is they speak Shalvik. All right, but what's important about this, the biggest thing is when you go looking for rumors or quest hooks, and there's a table here that we'll get to roll on that I've come up with. Basically, the lower it's a D8 roll. The lower the roll, the closer to truth the rumor is, and the higher the roll, the closer to false the rumor is, with the 4 and a 5 in the middle being a semi-true rumor. Either way, this will send us on our first quest. We'll go to whatever tavern we choose, and we'll try to get a quest hook that way. But let's go ahead and finish up some last-minute, and a little bit of last-minute bookkeeping here. So I'm going to run the, let's see here, character sheets. They're on a loop, I believe. No, they're not on a loop. But here they are. So here's our party. Let me get to the, what's going on here? Alright, so what we have up here, let's start. Okay, so here is our party leader, essentially. This is Godric Palatine. I did steal that name from Taxi Driver. Well, Palatine I did. He's a first level cleric human. There are his stats on the left. Let's see. I'm not sure if the cursor's showing up, but let me check to see if the cursor's showing up. All right. Well, the cursor is not showing up. That's a bummer. Anyways, top left you'll see the stats: strength, dex, con, and whiz, cha. So there's your stats. We've got next to it, right next to the stats, is hit points, and this is from top to bottom, just so you know how I write up my character sheets. There's hit points, armor class, which I forgot to write in for him. It's actually going to be a 17. Base attack bonus, melee attack, and ranged attack bonuses. Next to that column is our speed, initiative, fortitude, reflexive, and will saving throws. Next to that is skills, which are named. Then next to that are the ranks and the modifier. So concentration, I shorten it so I can fit it in the 3 lines there. Has 2 ranks, and I'll have a +5 to that roll. And then you go heal, knowledge, religion, spellcraft, survival. Next to that is the abilities. So clerics have turn undead. He's going to get 9 per day. He has a feat that gives him extra turning. He has the ability to spontaneously cast healing spells. He's also got the domain protection and the domain travel. That's for his god. He is a cleric of the god Ori, which is the god of humans. I'll give a quick narration on the 2 gods that are going to be worshipped in the party. Next to that are his feats. He's got extra turning and divine vengeance. Those are both from the I forget the name of the book. It's the 3rd edition book with the for clerics, basically. Let me get the book here so I can tell you exactly what it is. Defenders of the Faith. All divine vengeance is he spends a turn attempt, because he gets 9 per day. So you'd have to spend one of those turn attempts, and he gets plus 2d6 to damage undead. Spells per day. He's got 3 0-level spells and 2 +1 first-level spells. And there's the difficulty of any spell he casts. So his 0 levels are 13s, and his level 1s are 14s. So that's the whole top row. Underneath that top row, you'll see on the left is our weapons. And I have them written out as the name of the weapon, then the bonus to hit, then the damage with the bonus to damage right next to it, and then the critical, which is ×2, so 20 × 2 for the quarterstaff. And if he rolls Morning Star, it's ×2. Then next to that, there's the range increments for ranged weapons. So quarterstaff doesn't have any, Morning Star doesn't have any, but the sling does. It has 50-foot range increments. Below weapons are armor, and the armor is armor class, then the armor check penalty next to that, then the maximum dexterity bonus, and then the maximum speed. And as you see, shields don't have that maximum dex bonus or maximum speed. Below armor, you're going to see equipment. Right next to the word equipment are 3 numbers. Those are your loads, your light load, medium load, and heavy load. That's 43, 86, and 130. Next to that, circled, is his current weight of what he's carrying. And then I put a little star above whatever class that falls into. So he's carrying 90.24 pounds. And that's going to put him in his heavy load. So he'll be moving 20. He gets some armor check penalties and all that stuff. Below equipment is going to be where all of his equipment is going to be located on him. So I've got worn, belt, and backpack. So worn, belt, and pack. So his armor is worn. He's going to have to wear his wooden shield. He can't put that on his belt. He'll have to wear it. He's carrying a quarterstaff, so that's under worn, and he's got a wooden holy symbol. So all of that together, if you look on the left of the word worn, is a number circled. That's the weight of all worn equipment, 44 pounds. Then he's got his belt, and you can see all the stuff on his belt. At the end of belt, you'll see GP, a number, SP, a number, and CP, and a number. Those are gold pieces, silver pieces, and copper pieces. And then under belt is pack. You'll see all the equipment he's carrying in his pack. And then below that is stored equipment. So that's if we have a place we can actually leave stuff behind while we adventure. We'll leave it under stored equipment, and we won't be carrying it. But the reason I divvy out the equipment this way is so that if I need to drop my backpack, for instance, and run faster, I know how much weight that is, and I'll be able to... if I drop my backpack, I can just run. Same thing, I can cut my belt loose. Worn equipment, on the other hand, is you kind of have to keep on. You can't be throwing your scale mail armor away quickly. It's stuff's strapped on pretty good. So that is how the characters are set up. So now what I'm going to do is, hopefully this works, I'm going to play the slideshow of all the characters. And then I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick. So you can take a look at all the stats. And you say, there you go. So I'll be right back while this slideshow plays of the characters. Back. I'm going to stop the slideshow. Alright, so we saw the previous guy. This is a Hildorf fighter. That's our fighter. That is Thaldus Telbrick. Pretty much our tanky guy. He's got endurance and die-hard feats, so that way he can drop to negatives and continue fighting. Has a bit of a bad dexterity, so doesn't have the best armor class. Then we've got Bovi Osmond. He's our human fighter. He's our two-handed swordsman. He's got power attack and cleave. He kind of will handle our... he will handle our crowds, basically. I didn't write his armor class down. It'll end up being a 16 or a 14 while he's wielding his two-handed sword. He's your basic fighter. Oops. There we go. This is Rowan. He's our half-orc barbarian. He doesn't have a last name. He is not your typical woodsy barbarian. He was more of a orphan. Basically lived on the streets by himself. He never learned any of the woodcraft stuff, so he's not an outdoorsy barbarian. He's more of just a savage fighter, essentially. So half-orcs in my world they don't look orky, they look human, with just a hint of orc feature. There are half-orcs that look orky. Those are not allowed in human or regular civilized society. They're not allowed to live in a town. They're considered monsters. So if you're a half-orc player character, you basically look human. You're hard to differentiate from a human. But he was the 18 strength I had rolled, so I wanted to make him the half-orc so he could have the 20 strength. So he's a behemoth with a 20 strength. He's got the extra rage feat, so he can rage 3 times a day. So he's going to be a heavy hitter. He's got a good dexterity, too. He's tough to hit. So that will be Rowan. Then we've got Waylon. He's our ranger. Let me just real quick. Let me. Yeah, right. I wanted to make sure the. I wanted to make sure my mic was on. For some reason, I tend to forget that. There we go. All right, so Waylon's our ranger. He's not your typical ranger. High dexterity kind of guy. He'll be sword and board. He'll be long sword and wood shield, heavy wood shield. He's not going to be much of a range attack ranger. His stats aren't the great. They're pretty good. They're all right. They're above average mostly across the board. But he is good at woodcraft. That's his deal. He's got a high survival skill, handle animal, knowledge nature, all that stuff. So he's just not. He's not your dexterous ranger. Let's see here. I also put extra points into languages. So a note on languages. I let everybody have one language, regardless of what they are. So my orcs don't get to speak Common and Orc. They have to pick one language as your base language. I also have some languages that are specific to the campaign. Like I had said earlier, Shalvik is the language of this region. So Shalvik's kind of the common of the area, and Common's kind of the trade language. So Waylon here put a few extra points to learn Orc and Giant as well. So his languages will be Common, Shalvik, Orc, and Giant. So that'll be our ranger. Oops, went too far. Next up is our rogue, human rogue. This is Quentin Cooper. He's your basic dungeoneer rogue. He's not your thiefy kind of rogue. He doesn't have any pickpocket or anything like that. But he does have exceptional disable device and open lock. He actually took the feat nimble fingers in order to make him a little bit better at it than most. So basically he makes his living by dungeoneering. Got pretty high dexterity and intelligence, but other than that he's pretty average or below average. So he's not much of a fighter. I also did take Undercommon as one of his languages. So that'll come in handy if we end up in the Underdark, which we're probably going to end up in the Underdark. Next up is our Hill Dwarf Cleric. This is Mornis Gonkirk. He was one of the lower stat rolls I made. He wasn't the best character, so we did what we could. He's got a 7 dexterity, so he's going to have a pretty bad armor class considering. Other than that, he worships the dwarven god Brimden, which is the god of all dwarves, including Dwargar and Duro. He basically, there's only one dwarven god for all dwarves. There's just different aspects of it. Not much else to say. He's going to end up probably multi-classing into fighter. He's got a tendency towards fighter. As you see, the feats I took were, the feat he took was toughness. He has the war domain, so he gets proficiency in Dwarven War Axe and focus in Dwarven War Axe, because he has the war proficiency, and the god's weapon is a Dwarven War Axe. Other than that, he's a basic cleric. Next up is our human wizard, Sidney Sturgis. He was a pretty good character. He got some good rolls. We decided to opt to make. We made him a wizard. I gave him toughness, I believe, as a feat. Yeah, he's got toughness as a feat. So he ended up with 9 hit points as a wizard. So he's a pretty hardy wizard. We did make him an evocation specialist, and we did prohibit enchantment and illusion as the schools of magic he can't use. So he will get an extra evocation spell per day. Almost certainly going to be Magic Missile. You can see his spell book at the bottom. He's got Magic Missile, Burning Hand, Shield, Identify, Featherfall, and Magic Weapon. He is also, I believe, the only one who can speak Elven in the party, or Draconic. Alright, so that's our wizard, and that's it. So those are the characters. And as I said, Godric Palatine, the human cleric, he's kind of the leader. He had the highest wisdom and charisma. So he's sort of the party leader. Alright, so let's get out of that. Get rid of that and go back to our notebooks. Alright, so now, and as you saw the pictures, that's basically this notebook. I just took pictures of it. It was just so you could be seen a little easier. But I have character here, and you flip, and character. So this is where I'm keeping everything, is going to be in this notebook. I left myself 2 blank pages. That'll be for any hirelings or henchmen we come across. Then we have our summaries, which this will just be easier for me to reference as I play. So Godric's hit points, armor class, attack methods, ammunition, and what spells he has memorized. What spells he'll have memorized on a given day. So we're actually going to have to come up with that now. Or we'll be jumping into it soon enough. So he has travel and protection. So his god is Ori, he's the god of humans. His domains were travel and protection, I believe, were the 2 he picked. So let's go ahead and write up. So clerics and wizards, I don't have any spontaneous casters, so they're going to have to prepare spells every day. So unless otherwise noted, whatever I have written on this little summary will be the spells he has. So let's get our 0 level cleric spells. Now I can spontaneously cast Cure Minor Wounds on my 0 levels, so I don't need to take it. So he will take probably Light, Detect Magic, and Create Water. Create Water, Light, and Detect Magic. Those are our 0 level spells. Now for our 1st level spells, our domain spell will be Sanctuary. And so we have to keep that. We can't drop that for a cure or anything. Other than that, I would say Bless and Magic Weapon, Protection from Evil. Bless and Protection from Evil. Yeah, so Bless and Protection. I gotta write that on the next line. Doesn't fit. Okay, so there are Godric's spells. Sidnius has a spell book I have to choose from, except for the 0 levels. I can take whatever 0 levels. He will take, for his 0 level spells, take a Read Magic, Detect Magic, and Light. Actually, I'll take 2 Read Magics and a Detect and a Light. So Read Magic times 2 and Light. And his spells will take at least 1 Magic Missile. Probably just 1. We'll take a Burning, maybe no Burning Hands. What are their spells? We could take Shield. Yeah, I'll probably take Shield. Yeah, Magic Missile, Shield, and Burning Hands. And Shield. Okay, there's Sidnius' spells, and then we got Mornis. He is our Dwarven Cleric. He will take Resistance, detect magic. Detect magic, resistance. I guess read magic. So we'll do 2 detect magics and a read magic. Alright, those are 0 level spells. And he has the war domain, so he can take magic weapon, which is a good one. We'll also take probably Bane or Doom, not Bane. Actually, no, Bane. We'll take Bane. Bane, and what else can he take? Magic Stone, maybe? Does he have a sling? I think he has a sling. And he's got, did he take Earth as his second one? No, he also took, what were the domains he took? I don't think I ever wrote it down. So he has War and Protection, I believe. Could have swore I wrote that down. I guess I didn't. Domain, War, Domain, Protection. So he will take magic weapon. I already did. So maybe magic stone. I was checking to see if he had a sling. That's what I was doing. He does not. He's got a 7 dexterity too. He isn't doing any kind of ranged attacks. Let's go with Cause Fear. Okay. So there are our spells. That's it for that. Now we have to go to this right here. So this is going to be, I'm keeping track of the marching order and what the watches will be and what party jobs. So for marching order, we want probably our barbarian and our fighter up front. So that'll be Rowan and Bolvi. Or maybe Thaldus. Yeah, we'll have Thaldus and Rowan up front. So that's our tough dwarf and our monster barbarian. And I'd say second rank will be Godric and Bolvi. Godric will lead from the front. Bolvi. That was our human fighter. Then we want for our rear guard Waylon and Mornis. So that'll be our 4th rank. Waylon, Marnis. And our 3rd rank will be Sidnius and Quinton. That's our rogue and our wizard. For watches, first watch will be Sidnius. Actually, we'll put Sidnius at the midnight watch. That'll be when he studies his spells. We'll give him Rowan as a backup. Then we want first watch will be Waylon and Marnis, the dwarf cleric. And we'll have Quinton So Marnus, the dwarf cleric, will replenish his spells on his watch. Quentin and Bolvi. Now we want someone with dark vision if possible. So it'll be Thaldus. And the last watch will be, who's left? Godric. Godric and who else? Bolvi? Yeah, Bolvi. Okay. There's our watches. So now we need our torchbearers. So our front rank here. So Sidnius will probably be a torchbearer because he's the wizard. Nope, he's our mapper. He's the only one with ink and pen. And Rowan can't really bear a torch, so Waylon will be our first torchbearer. So the way I have this sorted out is I've got party jobs. So I've got torchbearers. I'm going to have 2 primary and then 2 secondary. So when the primary can't bear a torch, whoever the secondary is will be bearing the torch. So Waylon is our primary torchbearer. So when we're underground, Waylon's got the torch out. And then it'll be Quentin is also a primary. Actually, it'll be Thaldus, even though he's a dwarf. Because Quentin is our primary scout. We don't have a secondary scout. So when scouting is needed, it'll be Quentin. When mapping, it will be Sidnius, the wizard, clearly. We don't have a secondary mapper. As for secondary torchbearers, probably Rowan and Bolvi. Primary litter bearer. This may come into play. So that's basically anybody who's unconscious will have to be carried, and we'll need to determine who's going to do that. So and there's going to be at least 2 people to carry somebody. So that'll be Godric and probably Bolvi. And our secondary litter bearers will be Rowan and Marnus. Okay. We don't have a secondary mapper. Only Sidnius has it. The ink and pen. We don't have a secondary scout yet. Alright. Actually, I guess Waylon can do it. Even though he's not very stealthy. He'll be the second. Actually, no, it'd probably be Rowan. He's actually semi-stealthy. Yeah, it'll be Rowan. He's got a lot of jobs. Secondary jobs, Rowan. And the secondary mapper, probably Godric. Alright. So we've got all that written out. Now we need to go ahead and go to our adventure log. So this is how the game's going to be played. Primarily here. So we've got day 1. Now we need to consult our calendar. So the first day of spring is on the 1st month. day 1 of the first month. That's the first day of spring. Here's our calendar here. Upside down. Let's try this way. So nadir, I think we were going to go near the middle towards the end. So we'll say towards the end of spring. So 15 on non. Is that what it is? So there's 300 days, so there's 75 days per season. So right here is the end of spring. Right here is the, you can't see it. So the 15th of Lycus is the end of spring, and the 16th of Lycus is the beginning of summer. Is that how it works? It's got to be. So it's 10. So it's 2.5 months. Is okay. So the end of summer is Zilla 30. The beginning of fall is Milo. All right. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Yeah, 75 days. So we'll start somewhere near in the 3rd week of non. We're going to use this year as well, 1168, 4th age. 3 ages have passed so far. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin at, we'll say, the 19th of non, which is Gildum. Day 1. So what we got to do is day 1 will be non, or 19th of non. 19th of non, 1168 Gildum. Then we need to determine our weather. I have a table for that. And we'll have to write up what's going on. I need, here's some urban encounter tables we'll have to reference. Don't need you, possibly need you. We're probably going to need that. Hireling availabilities. Okay. Don't need any of this stuff just yet. Here is here is the weather table, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the good camera so I can take a look at it. Why is it not? There we go. No memory card. Yeah, I know no memory card. I gotta put a memory card in it. Or it's just gonna keep saying no memory card. Alright, I know there's no memory card. We didn't need one. Okay. So here, okay, because my other camera doesn't like to focus, so I have to use this one. So what we determine is, you can see at the top there, there's spring, then there's this is for Arctic Virgin Snow Island. So this is for the Virgin Snow Island weather. And you'll see there is a temperature and then a range. We'll determine the temperature and the wind speed. And then we go down here and we roll our percentile. And we see what kind of weather we're having. And we do that every day. That we're not skipping over anyways. So there's a shot of that. Now what I'll eventually do is take pictures of that, of all my charts, and then I can bring them up on the actual OBS and not have to use the camera to show it. So there was the chart. So we have, we'll roll what the weather's going to be first. So we got that percentile roll down at the bottom. So spring daily weather. So we're going to get a 50. So that will be clear skies. Clear. Actually, we'll write the... So we know it's going to be clear. Clear skies is basically regular weather. So now we've got to roll 5d6. We have 4d6 available. Let me get another d6 to roll this. And then we're going to need 3d10. Nope, we're going to need 5d8. So I need another d6 and another d8. There's a d6, there's a d8. Alright, so we're going to roll 5d6 for the temperature. This is going to be plus 25. Well, actually, it can be plus 30. Okay. So we've got 11 plus 30 is 41 degrees. Pretty warm day in the Virgin Snow Island. And we need to determine wind speed, and this is going to be minus 10. So it's 5d8 minus 10. It's windy up here. We've got 21, 26, no, 25 minus 10 is 15 miles an hour. So it's windy, but it's not too windy. Won't affect any in-game stuff. And the weather is clear. Alright, so there's that. Now we say party starts, or party arrives. Arrives in Deathhold Port. Deathhold Port at, so we got to keep track of time as well. We'll say 0600 in the morning. So party will arrive first thing in the morning. So I would say the party as a whole will attempt to find the nearest inn. Look at the map here. There is Blackwater Street right there. And I think that right where my pencil tip is, that building is... Well, that's the mainland depot, so that's a storage facility. Right here, this building right here at the tip of my pencil is the Skeleton Crew Tavern. That is where we'll go. Find accommodation. Skeleton Crew Tavern. So we're gonna head to the Skeleton Crew, and we're all going to buy. So we'll go to the player's handbook. We're looking for meals and room stays. We're going to have, and so the way I run it usually when I do this as a party, 10% of all loot is considered party loot. It goes for the whole group, so I can use that for things like food and in-stays and rations and stuff. So one of our characters is going to donate the initial investment for the party loot. Let's go. And then I only have to mess with one page as opposed to everybody's pages for basic stuff. So who's got the most coin? So Godric has 35 gold, so he'll donate 20 of his gold to the party loot. So we've got 20 gold in party loot. I'll make a note down here. Let's see. I'm making a note down here that he did that. Note. Godric donated. So he'll get an additional 20 gold from whatever the party pulls. To party loot. Okay. So Godric was kind enough to give up 20 of his gold pieces. I'll drop this down to 17 coins, which drops this down to, so at 0.4. It's 11.84. And that'll bring it down to 89.84. Okay. Like I said, bookkeeping is important. Alrighty. So we have 20 gold in our our party loot. We'll use that for pretty much most of the daily stuff. So let's see here. So per day for common meals will be 5 silver pieces. Or in-stay per day is 5 silver pieces for common in-stay. That'll be a... So common in-stay will be the common room. There'll be like bunk beds and perhaps a chest. A good in-stay will be a private room. This is at the Skeleton Crew Tavern. And poor would be you can curl up next to the fire on the floor at the end of the night. So we'll pay for common rooms. That will be 5 silver pieces per, and they'll all pay for common meals per day. That'll be 3 silver. So it's 8 silver pieces per party member for common in-stay and common meals. So the party pays 8 silver pieces per person for common meals and in-stays. For a total of, so 8 times 8, 6, so 6 gold pieces, 4 silver pieces. So we pay 6 gold, 4 silver. Brings us down to 13 gold, 6 silver. Okay. So now what do we want to do with the party? We've got the whole day. We basically get to the Skeleton Crew Tavern, we'll say, by 7. So at 0700, now we need to send folk to the we'll send out a group of the adventurers out and about town, and they'll be looking for, quote-unquote, looking for trouble, which is basically the urban encounter table. And then the other, maybe I'll leave 2 behind at the inn to basically try to get some adventure hooks. So let's go ahead and bring up the... So I'll be gather information checks, which nobody has it, but our highest charisma is, I believe, Godric. And he speaks the language. It's the only language he speaks is Shalvik. Alright, so Godric and probably our wizard as well. So Godric and Sidnius are going to stay behind. The rest are going to go out and about. All but Godric. So at 7 in the morning, all but Godric and Sidnius go out to explore the town. So that's rolling. So the way our urban encounter table works is there's a 10% chance of a notable encounter every 4 hours spent within a settlement. And there's modifiers to these percentage. So now I'll do parentheses and I'll roll 1d100. Or else I'll roll urban encounter. I'll write it down. So I want to keep track of all my rolls here. Urban encounter. 1d100 equals. So we are looking for trouble. So let's go through our modifiers. So we are in a small town, I believe. So that's -2 to the percentage. So that brings it from 10 to 8%. We are from the same kingdom, so that doesn't matter. The party, we speak the local language, so that doesn't matter. This party number is more than 5 or more, so we'll get another -2%. So that'll be 6% chance of an encounter. We're not famous or infamous. We're not from the settlement. We're not laying low. We're actually looking for trouble. So we'll go from 6%, because we're looking for trouble, to our representative's charisma. So the representative is basically the guy who's in charge. So we want our highest charisma to be our representative. So this first page is Sidnius and Godric. They're staying behind. So now we're looking for, probably Wayland is going to be our representative. Or Bolvi. Yeah, Bolvi is our representative. So he has a 13 charisma, so that divided by 2 is 6.5, so we'll call it 6. So we add 6%. So we're at 8, we're up to 14%. We're at 14% for the chance, and the type is modified as well. So the type is modified -2 for the type, but then +6. So we're at +4% for the encounter type, and it's a 14% chance. I'm going to write this down so I remember it. The party is... So levels divided by 4 equals 1 through 5. That's our level area. So that's basically what our levels are. So we went from 14 to 12%, but our type is +2. That brings us to 6. So we're at 12 and 6. And now we can do gather information checks and knowledge local. Nobody has knowledge local, so we can do gather information checks. So Bolvi, who's our party rep, will do gather information. He doesn't have the skill, but he can do it untrained. So the DC is a 20, so we need gets +1, we need a 19 or better. So our gather information failed. Bolvi, gather info. DC 20 equals. So it's a DC 20 and he rolled a 10. Fail. So now our percentage went from, I lost track. So urban encounter. Urban encounter equals, we have a, so we're at a 10. Oh, I gotta go through this again. -2 brings us to 8. 6. 6 plus another 6 is 12 plus 2. So we're at 12 and 2. We're at 8. 14 and 2. Now we're at 12 and 4. 12 and 4. So 12, so I gotta write this down so I remember. 12 and 4%. So, all right, so we need, it's 12% chance every 4 hours for this group to have an urban encounter. So first hour, or first set of 4 hours is a 96. Or sorry, 86. Okay, so I check from 06 to 10. I check from 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10. So there's the schedule. All right, well, either way we failed. We rolled an 86. Fail. Okay, so all of that took me a minute. So I haven't done this in a while, so it's going to take me some time to like catch up and get in the groove of this. So all of that was basically between the hours of and no encounter for 0600 to 1000. All right, so that they go out from 0600 to 1000. It's actually technically from 0700 to 1000. Those 6 adventurers, those 6 party members go out about the town, and they're just going to walk around and see what there is. They're basically looking for an urban encounter, but we didn't get one. So, moving on to the other 2. Godric and Sidnius stay at the tavern. Earn looking for rumors. That'll be a gather information check. And Godric's going to be the role, so Sidnius will assist. And I forget the rule on assisting. Skill checks. Aid another, so in order to help Sidnius, he needs to roll a 10 or better. So Sidnius is going to do a gather info check to help Godric. He needs a 10 or better. He gets +0 to this roll. So Sidnius assists equals, so he rolls a d20, gets to add 0 because he gets no bonus or negative to this. He needs a 10 or better. You got a 17. Godric's check equals. So now Godric gets +2 to this roll because of Sidnius. Godric has a charisma of 14, so getting a total of +4 to our gather information check. I have rules written in my book here on how to do that. All right, so guess I don't. So let's go to all right, so we'll do it as a DC 20. Gather info check. Gather info DC 20. That'll get us a roll on the rumors table. So Godric's going to need a 16 or better for, how long does it take? A check encompasses, what is it, a certain amount of hours here. It's a D4 plus 1 hours per check. So Godric's check is a 9 plus 4 is a 13. And the time it took to do that check is a D4 plus 1. 4 hours. 15, fail. 4 hours. So, from 07 rumors until 1100. So at 1100 they basically look for rumors until 1100. With no success. Alright, so our party, who was it, Waylon? No, Bolvi. Bolvi's group continues about town. It'll be urban encounter. And that was a 12 and 4. Chance equals. So Bolvi is looking for a 12 or lower for an urban encounter. This is between the hours of 10 and 1000 and 1400. And I rolled a 66. Down until 1400 with no encounter. So right now we're just mucking about town. So at 1100, Godric inquires about rumors again. So at 1100, Godric's going to inquire about rumors again. So that is gather info. DC 20. We can also spend a gold piece. I think I have it written down. So I can spend a gold piece to add or subtract to this roll. 20. Sidneus assist. So Sidneus is in the common room with Godric, giving him a hand. So he needs a 10 or better. He gets plus nothing. You rolled a 5, which is a failure. Godric gets a mere +2. So I explained I did have a method for this, and I didn't do it. So here's the method for this roll. What was my first roll? It was a 13, so that would have netted something. So I need to come up with how let's go to the back. Here we go. Here's our first house roll. We'll do the last page of the notebook for house rules. Gather info checks. So the DC equals 10, 15, or 20. A 10 through 14 gets random semi-true to false rumor. For rumors. So this is gather information checks for rumors. I'll explain what I'm writing down here. A 15 through 19 gets random true, semi-true, or false rumor. 20 plus gets random true or semi-true rumor. All right, so what I wrote down was, hey, what's up, Xander? So we're in it here, day one. It's slow going. I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm kind of like shaking off the cobwebs of how I run my solo gaming. And I got my notebook here, and in the back I've already started my first house rule. Just woke up, damn. Where do you in the States, or you in another? Where are you? States or Australia? I have no idea. Or you're just third shifter. Anyways, we have New Mexico. Oh, probably third shift then. So we've got I'm up here in Vermont in the mountains. So we've got our first house rule is gather info checks to discover rumors when you're in a town. And you roll for the DC. This is 3rd edition we're going for. If you get a 10 through 14, you get a random semi-true or false rumor. If you roll a 15 through 19, you get a random true to semi-true to false rumor. Oh, okay. And if you roll a 20 plus, you get a true or semi-true. And what that means is I got 8 rumors here for the town we're in. And they're in order of true. The first 3 are true, 4 and 5 are semi-true, and then the last 3 are false. So essentially, I'm going to roll. What did I roll this time? Go back to our adventure log. I rolled a 5, so we're getting no rumor for that block of time. But the first roll, I would have gotten a rumor of some sort. Alright, so Godric. Oh, Godric hasn't rolled yet. Godric equals. So he gets only +2 to this roll. Anything 8 or better will get us a rumor. Roll an 11. +2 is a 13. Rumor equals. So we got to roll a d6. Because a 13 will get us a semi-true to false rumor. So 1 through 5, re-rolling a 6. Roll a 5. That'll give us a false rumor. Equals number 8. And this is for Deathhold rumors. So, a ship carrying a recently acquired payment of gold coins struck the coast between Deathhold and Undertow and went down. So we heard the rumor that a merchant vessel full of coins went down along the coast between Undertow and Deathhold. That's one rumor we heard. A merchant vessel laden with coin, gold, struck the coast and sunk somewhere between, to write this whole rumor out. Deathhold and, so we know this rumor's false because I'm the GM essentially. But our characters don't know that. They're going to probably assume it's true. Undertow. Alright, so between the hours of 11, we got to roll for time as well. Where'd this at? So it takes D4 plus 1 hours. We started our rumor gathering at 11. Plus another 3 hours brings us to 1400. 1400. So Godric and Sidnius are still in the tavern, and they're probably going to talk to an old drunk who's going to tell them that he heard that a boat went down basically between Death's Hold and Undertow. So for map, let's get the map out so we can see exactly where he's telling our adventuring party where this happened. So here's our big map. Can't read it because my stupid phone does not focus. So right here is Death's Hold. That's where we are. We're on this town. We're in this town. And then all the way over here is Undertow. So he's saying that somewhere in this area a ship went down. No, not yet. I wasn't able to get everything I needed done. So what we're going to do is we're going to adventure in my already existing world for now. Until I have all my charts done, and then we're going to cross the ocean to a brand new continent I drew up, and we're going to hex crawl there. We're also going to have character motivations tables, hopefully by then, and also there's some other table I had to write up for that as well. But right now I'm just going to do we landed on the island here, and we're basically just adventurers looking for adventure. So we've got a group of people out in town looking for trouble, and we've got 2 guys in a tavern trying to get rumors. So I'm going to run it this way until I get to the hex crawl part, and then I'll have more random features for what the party's going to do. But anyways, so there's the map. So somewhere in there, and Death's Hold to Undertow is about 96 miles. Say about 100 miles to get from Undertow to Death's Hold. So that's going at a good pace. It's about 5 days maybe. If we're traveling quick, which we wouldn't be, we'd probably be a little closer to 7 or 8 days to get to Undertow from Death's Hold. So they're going to continue trying to gather rumors. Otherwise, we're just going to end up taking the road west out of Death's Hold, and then basically following the coast looking for that downed ship. Unless we can get a better rumor. All right, so the other group of fellas, and then Bolvi's group will continue again. Continues to explore until 1800. So now we got to roll urban encounter here. And that'll be 12% chance. All right, so we need a 12%, 12 or lower. And we will have a random urban encounter. And we did. We finally got something here. So we got a 9. Equals a 9. Success. So it was a 12% chance, and we're going to add... So the way the table works, I already explained it. There's the modifiers of, is there going to be an encounter? And then there's the encounter type, which is right here, which is not going to focus. Well, I showed it on camera before. So we got to roll the encounter type, and we get to add to the roll. It's better to subtract than it is to add. But we're going to have to add 4%, I believe. Type equals... Yes, we add 4%. So it's a D100 plus 4. We got an N86. That will be a malevolent encounter. And for a malevolent, and so we're going to have probably a fight here in a second, most likely. Something bad just happened. Where is it? Fortunate encounters, and here they are, malevolent encounters. So let's bring up the... Yeah, this is just my phone. I do have the camera I'm about to bring up to show the chart here. And let's do that now. There we go. So, malevolent encounters, right there. So there's our percentiles. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. So we're going to roll a percentile, and that's our chart we're working on. So as you can see, it's usually just bad news. Let's see if we can get a little closer so you can see the numbers. There it is. Okay, so that will be the chart we're rolling on here. And let's go ahead and roll. So our malevolent encounter equals 39. Monster. Monster. Now we gotta go to what monster means. A random monster encounter as per the specific area. So now I have to consult. So we're going about town. The other cam's an actual decent DSLR camera with the ability to focus. The main camera I'm using is an old smartphone camera. I don't know, what is it, Galaxy A10e? Pretty old. It was the cheapest one they had when I got my phone. Alright, so we've got a monster. Is prowling the streets of Death's Hold. So now, basically, we have plains. Death's Hold is plains area, so you want Arctic Plains encounter. And it's only going to be these 6 that are going to be part of it. We got to determine what the encounter is going to be. It's not under realms. Here we go. Arctic Forest, Arctic Hills, Arctic Plains. So it is a monster encounter. Flipping through. So many papers to flip through. Like I said, this isn't particularly This isn't going to be a particularly quick thing for this stream. Where is my random encounter sheet for... I might already have it out there in my pile here. I must. Urban encounters, Arctic snow. I don't. It's not here. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, I bought the cheapest one they had at the... My wife switched our service, so I had to get a new phone, or my phone was a flip phone or something. I forget what the reasoning I had to get a new phone, but I opted for the cheapest one they had. All right, so we need to roll a random encounter. And I guess we roll... Let me read the rule that I wrote. The rule I wrote. Probably 10 plus years ago. So it's a monster encounter. A random monster encounter as per the specific area. So, a random monster encounter. That will lend me to believe it will be either a savage or a mythical creature. Alright, so we have savage humanoid. No, it'd be mythical creature. It will not be savage. It'll be a mythical creature. So, we're going to roll a random mythical creature. It was released in 2019. It's not that old. I don't know. It was the cheapest one they had at the store. So, alright, so let's go ahead and bring up the... I wish this would focus. I don't have to keep switching. Well, I'll just switch anyways. Let me see if I can actually make this smaller. Put it in this corner. Make it smaller. And let's see if it shows up. Oops. There we go. It shows up plenty fine. So here is our mythical creature encounter. You can kind of see it right there. So we need to roll percentiles. We got a 76, which is lycanthrope. Nice. So let's go ahead and find the lycanthrope table. Right here. Well, I can't get that to focus all that well. So I'm going to roll percentile. And we're going to get what it's going to be. And then I got to roll a d10. And as you see across the top, that'll give me the number encountered. So there's the chart. We're going to go ahead and... This isn't working out all that well. So we'll get rid of that. I don't think I'm going to use that camera anymore. Well, anyways, so we need to roll a 76 lycanthrope. And then we're going to roll another percentile to see what we got. We are encountering... This is a rarity. This usually isn't going to happen like this. Foxware. What? Foxware. We gotta roll a d10 of these. We are encountering Rolled a 5, which is 2. Two Foxware. I don't even know what book that's in. 2 Foxware. Alright, now we gotta go hunting for the Foxware. It's definitely not in the... well, it might be in the actual Monster Manual 1. Let's check here. There's a group of first... Good thing we're in town right now. We're probably going to step aside for the town guard to take care of it. We'll come up with a house rule for that. I do not see a Foxware in this book. Let's check lycanthropes. Okay, 170. Yeah, that's what I did. I'm going to take pictures of it, and that way I can just bring it up. Exactly. I had done that with the character sheets earlier. I just didn't have time. I wanted to run the game tonight. Alright. First thing, I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick, so we'll give one of those. And then I'm going to find that. So, be right back. Yeah, and I'm back. Alright, so we're looking for a Foxware. Here it is. So it's in this book here. Tome of Horrors. It's a 3rd edition book by Sword and Sorcery here. And here's our Foxware. Let's take a look at what these are. So, they are neutral evil. This is a template, so this definitely wouldn't be what it was. I wouldn't have a template as a random encounter. Oh no, this is right here. So let's read it. Foxwares are foxes that can assume humanoid hybrid form. They are not lycanthropes and do not carry lycanthropy and cannot infect their victims with said disease. Animals that assume human form are called Theranthropes. The Foxware is a shape changer. It can assume the form of a fox, any small humanoid, or a combination of the two. They are neutral evil. How smart are they? I'm not seeing intelligence here. Oh, here we go. So they have a 10 intelligence. So they're fairly smart. All right, so here's how we're going to run this. It has a 10 intelligence. There's 2 of them. They're foxwares. They probably would have assumed the form of halflings. They can assume small. Or even just a fox. There's no way that they're going to just attack a group of adventurers in the middle of a town. They would almost they're too smart. They have a 10 intelligence. They're not going to throw their lives away attacking a group of adventurers. They're just going to stay low key and then slip away. If it was something like a rampaging monster that had a low intelligence, that would rampage through the streets. I would say foxwares. If it was, and it's the time of day too. Maybe if it was in the middle of the night, they'd attack. But this encounter happens at 1800. It's about 6 o'clock at night. Still light out. So we're going to say, because they're shape changers, foxwares. It would, but the encounter happens here. The group of party would head back to the tavern. That's what they do. They'll head back to the tavern before the end of the night. I don't think a pair of fox would. They might come in and maybe try to rob them. Let's read the entry here. Let's see what skills they have. Maybe they come in and try to burglarize the adventurer's room. Then the encounter wouldn't be wasted. Where was my foxwares? If they have any kind of thieving ability, we'll send them in. So their skills are jump, hide, listen, search, and spot. So they are not thieves in any way. It says they're very aggressive and attack on sight. I'd say that would be if they, I mean, they're not dumb. They have human intelligence. They're not just going to attack a 6-party group of adventurers in the middle of the street in a town. That's suicide for them. Town guard would be on them if the... Yeah, but that isn't written into my encounter tables. I have that sort of thing written into the tables. There's assassins. Specifically assassins for urban encounters, or even ruffians. But this was a monster encounter. So this is essential. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'd roll a vampire in the middle of the day. So the vampire is not going to be attacking the party in the middle of the day. It wouldn't even be aware of them in the middle of the day. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to well, hold on here. It's the foxfire's eyes. Oh, here we are. Okay, so here's the encounter. So they are going to be in halfling form. And they'll be going down the street. They have this charming gaze. Charming gaze special ability here. Any creature within 30 feet that looks into the foxware's eyes are affected by Charm Person, as cast by a 6th level sorcerer. The DC is a 13. This is a spell-like ability, or supernatural ability, not spell-like. All right, so here's what's going to happen. So the Foxware two Foxwares in halfling form. Try to charm. Let's pick one of our randomly pick one of the 6 adventurers that are out and about. So there's Mornis, Quentin, Waylon, Rowan, Bolvi, Thaldis. So 1 through 6. That'll give us a random adventurer. So the Foxware will attempt to charm Thaldis. Actually, the group. They'll try to charm each and every one of them and see who they can snag. So all 6 party members will have to make will saves. So we'll start with Mornis. So we'll save 13 for Mornis. Gets a +3. He needs a 10 or better. Or he's charm person. He rolled an 8. +3 is 11. Fail. Next up, so Mornis has failed. He's going to basically follow them outside of town. Quentin equals... Quentin gets a +0. He rolled a 3. Next up is Waylon. Yeah, so 2 Foxwares in a town are going to have a strategy to get victims. And their strategy is to do the charm person. You just meet their eyes and they charm you. And then lure out the party. Into the tundra where they can try to kill him. Wayland has a will save of +2. Needs an 11 or better. Rolled a 1. It's a 3, so fail. We've got Rowan. Rowan has a -2 to this roll. Rowan rolled a 7 as a fail. Marnus, Quentin, Waylon, Rowan, Bolvi gets -2 as well. He actually succeeded. And that is our party representative here. So 13 success. And lastly, Thaldis. Thaldis gets +0. And he rolled a 6 as a fail. Alright, so 5 of 6 party members are charmed by the Foxware. So I would say 5 of 6 could convince the last holdout, Bolvi, that they're going to go with the Foxware. Even though Bolvi is probably a little bit not understanding what's going on. But Bolvi does have a 6 wisdom, so he doesn't make the wisest choices. All but Bolvi. charmed. And agree, and the group agrees to follow the halflings out of town. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. At 1900, so it's just about getting dark. Fox wares. Alright, so they've lured out the group of people. Look at these guys here. What do they have for weapons? They just bite? We gotta look up Charm Person spell, because that's basically what 6 of them are under a Charm Person. Oh, wrong book. This is a monster manual. We got our first encounter. Of course, it's a crazy one. The chances of a monster encounter like this in the middle of the town is very low. Alright, so we have Charm Person as cast by a 6th level sorcerer. Let's read the Charm Person spell. This charm makes a humanoid creature regard you as a trusted friend and ally. If the creature is currently being threatened or attacked by you or your allies, however, receives a +5 bonus. Spell does not enable you to control the Charm Person as if it were an automaton. So use your words and actions in the most favorable way, but you must win an opposed charisma check to convince it to do anything it wouldn't ordinarily do. You must... Alright, so they're charmed for 6 hours. They would be able to convince him to leave town. Yep. And once they attack, that'll break the charm. Alright, so basically, there's 2 of them, 2 foxwares. Wares have Lord in the party. And attack. See battle log. Okay. So this is the adventure log. This is what happens. Now we go to battle log. We'll say give adventure log 10 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll give it 5 pages. This will be battle log. Okay, so it is day 1, 19th of Non. $11.68 Gildan at 1,700 hours. Nope, 1,900 hours. In the plains, north. We'll say north of Death's Hold. All right, so these two quote-unquote halflings basically cast Charm Person on the 6 adventurers, all but one, but the one will just go along with the group. They are lured out. They go about an hour north of the town into the plains, at which point the 2 halfling will revert to their animal form and attack. They're going to pick a random member and get a sneak attack, basically. Or a random sneak attack of some sort. So the encounter distance will be in melee. Got a free round. Encounter distance. Equals 0 feet. So they're going to be in melee. We need to roll up the foxwares. 2 foxwares. HP equals. So we got to roll up HP for 2 foxwares. And it is 3d8. No adjustments, just 3d8. First one has 9 hit points. And the second one has 15 hit points. Alright, so surprise round. I gotta refresh myself on surprise rounds. Combat. Surprise. So we're going to be flat-footed and all that. It's not a coup de grace. Surprise, 137. We are not aware. The surprise round. If some but not all combatants are aware of their opponent, a surprise round happens before the regular round begins. So everybody's flat-footed. And the foxwares each get to take a standard action, which is an attack. Which is a bite. They're not that strong. They just do have a damage reduction against +1 weapons, so... Alright, so... Party is surprised. So I don't need miniatures. I will eventually have miniatures and battle mats and what have you for this. But what's happening here is... Hold on a sec. These 2 foxwares have drawn out the party. They're just going to be in melee. They're not... if anything, they'll run away if they determine that it's too much to handle. But they're in melee, they get to pick their victims. I would say they're intelligent. They have a 10 intelligence, so they can probably pick the weakest 2 looking. So they would probably, definitely Quentin, the rogue, is going to be a target. Quentin the rogue. And Waylon. Waylon the ranger. Foxware. 1 attacks Quentin, who is flat-footed. And alright, so he gets +5 to his bite. It only does a d4 damage. And Quentin's armor class is a 15, but he's flat-footed, so it is a 12. So we need a 7 or better to hit. Hits on a 16. And the damage is a d4. 1. For 1 damage. And then Fuckswear 2 attacks Wayland. And that will be... See, I'm not sure I want to write down this every battle, but... we'll roll and see if he hits. 3 might not hit. He rolled an 8, he definitely didn't hit. But misses. So that was the surprise round. Round 1. Initiative. So now Wayland and Bolvine, who wasn't charmed, and Quentin will all be aware. The other 3 party members will still be surprised. So we're going to roll initiative. So I roll initiative as a group. White dice is player characters, black dice is enemies. So 1 versus 3. So the Foxwares are going on a 5. And it'll go Quentin, the Foxwares, Wayland, Bolvine. Nope, it'll go Quentin, Wayland, Foxwares, Bolvine. Okay, Quentin will draw dagger. He can't even hurt them. But he doesn't know that. Draw dagger and attack. So, doesn't matter. His attack is ineffective. They have damage reduction. 2 miss. Then Wayland will draw a longsword and attack. He needs the armor class is 15. So he rolled a 2. He missed as well. Actually, he rolled... I don't even think he can hurt him either. Nah, he can't hurt him unless he hits a critical. So... and miss. Then Fox 1 attacks Quentin. We'll call him Quinn to make it shorter. The Foxware is going to bite at Quentin again, which he does succeed with a 19 as a hit. And damage equals a d4. So now Quentin has been hit for 1 point of damage plus an additional 1 point. 1 damage. Then who else is with it? Bolvine. Or Bolvi will draw his great sword, step into Fox 1. Draw his great sword. steps up to Fox 1 and attacks. And power attacks. Because he has a power attack feat. Power attacks. Okay, so he normally gets +5 with his greatsword. He is going to get +4 because he's doing a power attack. So he needs an 11 to hit a 15. So he gets +4. Roll a 3. Come on. 7. Miss. That's got to make those foxes think twice. That was round 1. Round 2 equals initiative. Alright, hold on. We'll make more will saves for the remainder of the party who wasn't attacked. Will saves. 4. And that was a DC of 13, so we gotta do Thaldus. He gets +0 and needs a 13. Roll a 3, fail. So Thaldus is still enchanted. He won't attack back. Rowan. Rowan needs a 15 or better. Gets a -2. Yeah, he needs a 15 or better. He is enchanted still. And lastly, Mornis. Mornis gets a +3. Will he snap out of it now that he sees they've turned into crazy fox monsters? And he will. So Mornis will participate in the next combat. Nobody's hit these things, so they don't know they have damage reduction, so there's no reason Mornis will cast magic weapon yet. Okay, round 2. Inish. I always write ours first, theirs second. So we got a 19, they got a 6. 19 versus 6. So we get to go. So Mornis is back in the mix. All of our characters go except for the enchanted ones. So first is Quentin. Quentin flanks. He gets a sneak attack. So he'll 5-foot step alongside, flanks with, who else is in there? Bolvi's in there with Fox 1. Bolvi on Fox 1. And roll equals. Alright, so I need a critical to wound these things. So I get +2 because I'm flanking. I need to hit a 15, I need a 13. 2 is a fail. Fail. And miss. Next up is Waylon. Waylon attacks Fox 2. He gets +2. He needs a 13. 11. That'll be a 13. That is a miss. Who is next? So it will go Quentin, Waylon, Rowan, who is still enchanted. Yes. Thaldus, who is still enchanted. Bolvi. Bolvi goes. Bolvi. Flank attacks. Power attack. Fox 1. Right, so he'll flank power attack alongside Quentin on Fox 1. So he gets a +4 on his power attack. He'll get a +6 because of the flank. So we need a 9 or better. There we go. Ooh, a 19. Possible critical. Equals... What is that? 6, so 25. Crit equals... So if we roll a hit, we've got a critical. Even with the damage reduction, that might kill one. Fox 1 only has 9 hit points as well, so... Alright, so we rolled possible crit, so all we need to do is hit. We need a 6... So we need a 9 or better, and it's a critical. And it is. Be 21. 1 and critical hits. Hit. So the damage will be... Alright, so Bolvi with a critical hit with his greatsword. He gets 2d6 plus 5 times 2. This is going to probably cleave a fox in half. Even with damage reduction 10. Is that what he has? Yeah, damage reduction 10 versus +1. He's still going to cleave it in half, probably. So we're getting +5 to this roll, and then we're multiplying the roll by 2. So we've got, maximum. All right, here. So he just did 34 damage. 34. Minus 10, the thing is still taking 24 damage. It only had 9 hit points. And cleaves Fox 1 in half. Down the middle, we'll say. Down the middle. Alright, Fox 1 is dead. Brutally dead. Way to go, Bolvi. And that still leaves Baldus. What is Thaldus drawing? He's going to draw his... Draws War Axe. And steps up to Fox 2. Steps up to Fox 2 and attacks. Does he have power attack? He does not. So we're not flanking yet because we 5-foot step in. He gets +4 to hit a 15. He's going to need an 11. Roll a 4. So he gets +4. 8's a miss. Alright, so that was our party. Now Fox 1 is dead. Fox 2 just saw that. So Fox 2, roll for morale. Okay, so I have a morale chart here that I use for 3rd edition. It's a will save, basically, with some modifiers and some things that trigger it. So, where's my morale? What an odd encounter. Here it is. Alright, so the morale, you check when you've sustained, when the enemy or your hirelings have sustained 25% casualties, 50%, 75% casualties, death of a leader, or facing obviously superior forces. So this is a sustained 50% casualties. So the DC for this is a 15. So this Foxware will have to make a 15 morale save with a DC 15, but there's modifiers. -1 for each slain, so +1 for each friendly slain, so the DC goes to 16. From a 16, receive casualties but cause none, so the 15 or the 16 goes to an 18. Outnumbered 3 to 1, the 18 goes to a 21. So the DC is a 21 for him to not flee wildly. Alright, so 21 to not flee wildly. DC 21 equals. And I have what the failure means. Alright, his will save is +5. Got a pretty good will. Rolled a 19. So failure by 1 to 5 means a fighting retreat. So what's going to happen is the fox will What do you mean? Xander, I'm not understanding it. Yeah, Twitch Whisper. Oh, I see it. Yeah, hold on, let me check that out here. Oh, you did, this is Virgin Snow Island. Nice. Cool. What else you got here? There's another one. It's this one. Oh, that's the same one. Hold on. You sent me 2. Are they the same thing? Oh, they are. Okay, they're the same thing. Cool. You mind if I put that up on the stream real quick? Alright, cool. So let me open it up. That's okay. Hold on. Doesn't look good there. Let's open it up. Here we go. And let's grab another window capture. There it is. There it is. Should show up on stream. So Xander whipped up a map. You must have, obviously you took a look at it and then drew up the map. Cool beans, dude. So that's a approximation of Virgin Snow Island. Now you just need to cover it in snow. Actually, no, because it's late spring right now. All the snow is gone. This is just so the southern tip of the island is just outside of the Arctic Circle. So this isn't too bad. It's pretty snow free in the summer. But anyways, back to the fight. So Fox failed the morale, so what he's going to do is attack and take a 5-foot step out, and then wait to see if the enemy, if we pursue. If we don't pursue, he'll just flee. So fails. Fox 2 attacks. Because we only failed by 2, and that means a fighting retreat. Fox 2 attacks. Who's Fox 2 gonna attack? Waylon. Waylon. Roll equals Yeah, I know. I gotta, like I said, I need to take a picture of it with a good camera and have so I can put the map up. So next time I do this, I will have pictures of everything I use for the game on a slideshow, so I can just scroll through it up on stream and then show you what I'm doing. Yes, that is what I'll do. All right, so where Fox attacks Waylon and hits him with a 20. Damage equals D4. For 1. These guys cannot deal damage. Deals 1 damage. And steps out. We are going to let him flee. We will not pursue the fight. And what is... It's 2 of these guys. Combat. Party allows Fox to flee. Alright, there it is. That is the end of the fight. They're gonna have what 2 2s is an encounter, challenge encounter 3. Yeah, I'll most likely just use graph paper and a camera. I like to draw. I like to draw dungeon maps. It's fun for me. All right, so Fox 2 to flee. So I need to roll treasure. So the way, here's another house rule. Looting enemies outside of their lair. Enemies will only carry 10% of their coins. Their coins. And only useful items. For combat, we'll say. Alright, so enemies outside of their lair are only going to have 10% of whatever their coin value is, and they'll only carry items that would be useful for combat. So we need to roll a treasure up for a challenge rating 3, which is what 2 2s is. The challenge rating 3. CR3. Treasure equals. So now we got to roll up a challenge rating 3 treasure. Step my microphone here. Okay. Well, we need to roll. Where's my treasure tables? 3 XP equals, let's get the XP first. So our effective level is 1.5. So we're going to get 900 XP for that. Those characters will get 900 to split. Treasure equals, and we need to determine our treasure. Here we go. Alright, so a third level treasure. Coin. So there is the coin roll. Rolled a 41. 41 equals 48 times 100. Is that right? Yeah. 48 times 100 silver pieces. And there's only half of this because there's only one were-fox was killed. So 48 times 100. So it's actually 48 times 10 because they're only going to carry 10%. So there is 124. Or no, sorry, 24. 240. So it would be, normally it would be 24 times 100 is 2,400, but it's going to be 240, so it'll be 120 silver pieces. Silver pieces. Actual is 120. It'll be 2,400, sorry. Actual is 120 silver pieces. And I like to give it an odd number, so it's 110 plus a d10, just so it's not, I don't like even numbers. So it's actually 120, so that'll be a house rule as well. Coin sums. The last digit so random treasure coin sums. Let's have all remaining zeros randomized. So basically that means all let's see here. Xander has sent me another map here. What's that craziness? It's cool. It's a cool looking map. Just rocks and bushes and stuff. Looks like tents. That's pretty neat. Cave entrance. What's this program? So there's 120 silver. Now we need to roll goods. Equals. All right. Goods is 26. None. And last, it is items. Dungeon draft. I'll have to look that up. It looks pretty cool. All right, so now we're doing items. 42 is none. All right, so we rolled up the treasure. All that this encounter would have had was 2,400 silver pieces. But as per the house rule, only 10% of the coin is ever carried on the actual monster's person. So that would be 240 silver pieces, and we only killed one foxware, so we're only getting half that. We're getting 120 silver pieces. So we've basically 12 gold, but we'll have it marked down as 120 silver. Okay. Battle ends by, let's see, battle ends by 2000. Bullseye. This group returns to the skeleton crew. By 2100 and retires for the night. All right. So we got 900 XP. Each participant gains. So we have 6 members to divide 900. That's 150 XP each. And there is 108 silver pieces to divide. Divided by 6 is 18. 18 silver pieces. Party loot gains 12 silver. All right, so each of those participants gets 150 XP and 18 silver for the 6 party members that were there, and then 12 silver goes to party loot. Because 10% of all loot goes to party loot. 12 silver brings us to 18 silver. And I'll add their stuff. But that was them. They return back to the skeleton crew by 2100, 9 o'clock, and they retire for the night then. They'll wake up tomorrow. Only a couple of points of damage were taken, so we'll have what was his name? Malnus? What was his name? Mornus. Mornus heals all wounds before retiring. Alright, so there was only 3 points of damage total dealt to everybody, so Malnus will just use his cure minor wounds and cure up all those wounds before bed. But now we need to Godric. So Godric continues gathering rumors. From 1400 to, that'll be a D4 plus 1 hours for a gather info check. So we start at 1400, that's 5 hours, we'll end at 1900. 1900. Gather info. And we want Sidnius to assist. Sidnius assists. Needs a 10 or better. She does. 12 success. Godric's roll equals. So Godric gets +4 to this roll now. Oh, we rolled a 20. 20. Success. Rumor equals. So now we got to go to the specific rumor. So it's paying off. Got a nice high roll on our gather info. So we're going to get the first 6 instead of the last 6. So we roll a d6 and we get rumor number. Can't see that. Rumor number 5, which is a semi-true rumor. Rumor equals rumor 5. All right. Godric hears. So this rumor is that Sergeant Arnard has been assisting a nearby camp of bandits smuggle all sorts of drugs, poisons, and stolen coin. The truth is that the Lieutenant Trimble has been assisting the smugglers. So it's true to a point. We'll just say that the town guard are assisting nearby smugglers. And let's look at the map. So drawn on the map, which you probably can't see it. Right, so here's Deshold, right? Where am I? Right here is Deshold. That's the main town. There's a road out west. And then just here is a cave right along the edge of the right along the coastline. There's a small cave. And that cave is a den of smugglers that the town guard, one of the lieutenants of the town guard, has been assisting them. That's the rumor. So we know basically where to go. So there's our first adventure hook. The party prepares to investigate a nearby cave. For smugglers. All right, so all party members retire by 2200. All right, day 1 complete. That was a lot. That was like 2 hours, but like I said, I was getting back into the groove of it. So I think we're going to stop at day 1. So, so these are 500-foot squares. So by the edge of town, we're here actually, so just going right outside the door. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 500 times 16 equals 8. So it's about 1.5 miles to this cave. So it's about 1.5 miles outside of town. So that's where the group is going to go. Is we're going to head to this cave. It's 1.5 miles outside of town. We assume that that cave houses a den of smugglers. That's the adventure hook we rolled. That'll be our first dungeon dive. I know, because I wrote all this stuff, that that cave does in fact hold a den of smugglers. I'm undecided on whether I want it to actually be smugglers or not and just have it be a random dungeon. Because I do have a random dungeon generator that also generates the primary inhabitant randomly. Yeah, so the town sprawls out. It's kind of hard to... I was just more drawing. I would say that the town, so 10 squares is about a mile. So here's 10 squares. I'll show you on my pencil. 5. So... Alright, so that much of my pencil is about right to where my thumb is. That's about a mile. So the town is about a mile and, I'd say a mile and 2/3 maybe, end to end. So, and then there's a large graveyard nearby. There's a bit of a ruin up here. So there's some stuff kicking around, but that was more... I would say that the town probably isn't that... I don't know, about a mile. That sounds about right. Yeah, about a mile and a half. That doesn't seem too out of the norm from edge to edge. Then you got like 500-foot buildings, which isn't accurate. But it is a large town, or yeah, I bet it would. I have some numbers there too. Like I said, everything I've used here, I'll have to take pictures of. But anyways, so that was day 1 completed. Day 2, everybody's healed up. Nobody really got hurt all that much. We've got enough supply. We can definitely make it... Oh, I'm going to do... Here. This is a session. This was a 3-hour session. So we're going to end the session here, even though some of that stuff. So each session, end of session. Because I'm not role-playing, I can't give role-playing experience points to my characters, which is kind of important when you're leveling up your characters in an actual D&D campaign. So end of session XP. End of every session. All characters gain 100 times level in XP. So everybody gains 100 times level and experience points. Everybody's level 1, so everybody's getting 100 experience points. Yeah. I'm just going with, at least for this experience point stuff, it's just a generic number. These guys got an extra 150, the last 6, so they'll get 250 total. Okay, and all of these guys got 18 silver pieces. Is 26. 19. 26. Okay. Session 1 complete. So that is how I play D&D solo. Basically, it's a lot of just trying to figure out logically what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a DM wouldn't make a chart for what the PCs would say. PCs would just roleplay it. NPCs, maybe. Charts for NPCs, yeah. All right, well, anyways, that was our first session of solo D&D. Not terrible. Worked out pretty well. Everything was basically thought of logically. I just tried to make it make sense. And I think it did. I think it made pretty good sense. And I was able to get an adventure hook, although it wasn't the one I wanted. Although I could possibly insert a... yeah. I could insert an Underdark passage in this cave, though, so that wouldn't be too hard. But, alright, well, I think we're good for tonight. I may pop on just because this doesn't really take any prep time, other than the fact I want to take pictures of everything, finish up a few charts. Yeah, so rewards is you just get experience points for challenge rating victories, and then it's just the flat 100 XP per session. And I'm going to rule that a session is basically when I hit the start streaming button, and then when I hit the stop streaming button, that's one session. So you'll get 100 XP times level per session. But anyways, yeah, we're going to call it there. Thanks to Xander for showing up and chatting me up, man. I appreciate it. I'll probably be jumping on stream again. What's today? Saturday? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so I'll be busy pampering my wife. So Monday or Tuesday, probably. I might even have my Wednesday hobby progress be a session. I enjoy playing D&D, so. So money and loot basically is going to get split as evenly as possible between. So there was only 6 members in that fox fight, so only those 6 would have split the loot. And there's always a 10% value goes to the party loot, and that's for doing things like buying healing potions, which I don't really do that, but buying rations for trips, buying ship passage to get the party to another continent. So that sort of thing will be handled that way. If there's a magic item that someone's keeping, we'll just consider the value of it, whatever the actual book value of it is, and that'll go towards their share. And if there isn't enough to cover it, that'll go towards future shares. So there'll be a way to figure that out. Essentially, there's a 3,000 gold piece sword and 100 gold. So each party member would get, that's 3,100 gold. You'd split that up, between however many party members, and then divvy it out. So one party member is not going to get gold for a while until the other party members get the gold that they're owed. So that's how I'll handle that. Everything will be basically a numerical. And then there'll be a debt system, a party loot debt system kind of thing. But alright, so this isn't enough. This is one day worth of adventure. It's not going to be enough for a YouTube video, so I'll have to do at least one more stream to get enough for a YouTube video. One thing I didn't get to do, which I'll do quickly if I can. So let me exit out of everything here. All of my windows I have open. Dice roller can go. Nope. That can go. Remove. Character sheets can go. Yep. Again, camera can go. And window capture can go. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is show some of the video I took. With the VLC. So this is some of the video I'm going to use as my background when I am doing the YouTube videos. I'm going to need some sort of like nature-y kind of stuff. So let's see if we can't window capture this. All right, there it is. So all this footage I took today. This is literally all within about 1,000 feet of my house. This is just where I live. I didn't even step outside of my house. I did this all from inside my house. So I'll have to edit this down, but hold on. Let me queue up a. I need to queue up all of the videos here. Here we go. Nope, wrong one. Play with. No. How the heck do I add this to my playlist? All right, here we go. So this is just some footage I did of my Yeah, I need to edit up some of these videos and chop them down and stuff. But I needed some like nature-y stuff in order to... Oh, there's like something on the camera there. Like a splash of water or something. Oh, man. It's queued up now. I can just hit the skip button. This is the river right in my backyard. It's like a dot on the edge of the stupid screen. Oh, there goes a car. So I'll have to cut that out, clearly. Stupid car. So I'll play this and I'll try to find some free music. Actually, all I did was highlight all of the videos and drag and drop them right onto the player, and it gave me the ability to click through. But yeah, these are going to be some videos for the YouTube channel for when I am narrating the game. It kind of gives you that feel of like wilderness. And like I said, this is my house base. This is where I live. This is the river right behind my house. Yeah, cars are normal for a D&D game, yeah. So some of these are like 2 minutes long, but just clip through. So this one, I think, I start to fly it up, yeah. There we go. I'm going to fly it away in a second. We fast forward. Yeah, there we go. So I'll try to cut out like 10 to 20 second clips in motion. And then for the clips where I just leave it in place, I'll do those probably minute-long clips maybe. I'm going to have to take all this video again because there's a stupid dot in the corner. So a dot of something got on the lens. Oh yeah, playlist. Oh no, I see playback. I see media. Media? Title chapter. Video. Tools. I'm sure I know it's up here somewhere. Playlist. I got it. It's under view. Alright, well. This one, I think I get some road on that one. I can't. That's a bummer. I'm going to have to take all this video again because that stupid dot on the lens. I wonder if I could edit that out somehow. I have some video editing software. I just don't know if I can like create a yeah, this is a drone. I don't know if I can create a box around that dot and then use the background color to kind of fill the box in. I'll have to figure that out. Because that'll save a lot of this. I mean, this footage didn't take me too long. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'll have time to do it. Yeah, I was sitting in my living room and I did all this. And my house is like another 1,000 feet going this way to the right. I kept it. Just see it on camera right now. That's my house. I'll have to crop it out if I use this footage. So I'm sitting in my living room doing all this. I think I can just I'll just refilm. I wanted to do some stuff down the trail anyways. That I'll have to actually leave my living room to do. Because I lose line of sight of it when I go down the trail. Oh no, I know I'm not displaying my address. You wouldn't be able to find me. I just need to get rid of that stupid, like, splotch on the lens that's in the top right. I mean, I need to cut my house out of the video because it's not medieval. If I lived in a castle, I could leave it there, but... I didn't... I'm coming up to the trail here, and I didn't have the courage to go down it. That's the trail right in the middle of the shot there. Like, I don't think I want to go down that trail. How many more videos are there? So I'm going to have to take all this video again. Yeah, I know, but I'm a bit of a... Like, that's going to bug because I'm looking at it now and I can't not see it. All right, that's all the videos. So that's what I intend on using for the background images for my YouTube videos. I'll try to get some royalty-free music to put on, and then I'll do it, very low in the background. And then I don't travel. I'm not gonna travel. Not that I'm afraid to travel or I'm a COVID freak or anything like that. I just don't. I hate planes. I'm not a plane guy. I'll just stay. I'll go where I can drive. I'll go to Canada. that's my exotic. All right. Well, that does it for me, Xander. Thanks for stopping by and chatting me up. Thanks for anybody else who happened to pop in. I will not be doing a YouTube. I'm sure there's somewhere. I will not be doing a YouTube video just yet. I don't have enough material. I'll have to do another adventure session here. That'll either happen Monday or Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. I will try to get pictures of all of the charts and maps and tables I'm using so I can reference them in the middle of the play and bring them up on screen. All right, well, that does it for me, and thanks for stopping by.